Good morning and welcome to Daybreak as we stream here on WGRZ Plus through 9:30 this morning. I'm Melissa Holmes, and tomorrow will mark 4 years since one of Buffalo's deadliest tragedies and the creation of a new memorial to honor those who died at Tops on Jefferson Avenue on May 14th, 2022 is making some progress. The 514 Memorial Foundation has selected a new construction group that will oversee the building of the memorial. Buffalo Construction Consultants was unanimously voted in at last night's meeting to continue guiding the process of the 514 Living Memorial and Healing Center. Leaders with the foundation say the selection represents a major milestone in advancing the project into the next phase of pre-construction planning, budgeting, scheduling, and overall project development. They also say that having people from Buffalo and Western New York create this memorial is a priority.
What we were looking for is a group that heavily emphasized trauma-informed management, and a group that is plugged in to the local community. And Buffalo Construction Consultants was that group. They're a local group here in Western New York, and we felt that it was important to have individuals that understood the community and are able to engage with the community.
And we invite you to join us tomorrow as the community comes together to reflect and remember the 10 victims lost and those forever touched by the Buffalo mass shooting. On Daybreak at 8 a.m. we'll be joined by Mark Talley. He's the son of the victim Geraldine Talley, and he began the nonprofit Agents for Advocacy. Then at 9 a.m. we'll be joined by the Reverend Mark Blue. He is the chair of the 514 Memorial Foundation and also the president of the Buffalo chapter of the NAACP. And then you can watch the 514 Remembrance Ceremony tomorrow at 2 p.m., which will also be streaming right here on our free app. In education news this morning, the Buffalo Board of Education is trying to work itself out of a massive financial hole, and it could lead to 4 school closures and dozens of job cuts. Superintendent Dr. Pascal Mubenga revealed that the district is more than $66 million short of its expenses, and the effort to address that deficit is reflected in this year's budget proposal. District leaders presented the spending plan yesterday. That $66 million figure is an improvement over last year's $78 million deficit, but it is not enough to avoid major cuts. The 26-27 proposal would eliminate 51 positions from the school district's central office and would also shut down its virtual pathway program.
Out of the 51 positions, there were a lot of vacant positions that were able to sunset, and then there were a few folks that were impacted. Either they were able to go back to the school level, and there were few that probably were looking for different positions. And I'm not fully aware of anybody that was completely unemployed. If that's the case, that was not the intent.
And on the subject of school closures, while there are no plans to close schools this year, the district says closures will be inevitable in order to close the budget gap. The school board will vote on the budget proposal next week. The New York Attorney General's office has released its full report into the deadly police shooting of a man last August by Cheektowaga police in Buffalo. The incident was all captured on police body cam video. We'll show that to you again, but we do want to warn you, the video might be difficult to watch. According to the report, officers went to an apartment on Sanders Road to arrest 60-year-old Hugh Davis on assault charges after an alleged attack at a Cheektowaga hotel, which left an employee with a brain bleed and in a coma. Investigators say officers knocked on the door, you can see that there in the apartment, for several minutes before that door panel fell into the apartment. The report says Davis, who was not supposed to be there because of an order of protection, then came out with a knife swinging at officers. Officers shot him 3 times. He died at the scene. The Attorney General's office concluded that the officer's use of deadly force was justified under New York law, and no charges will be filed. Buffalo Mayor Sean Ryan will make an announcement today about local community centers and city-owned buildings. The mayor's office says increased investment into those centers is part of the city's proposed budget, which also includes a $250,000 cut to community services. 2 on Your Side will provide updates on the mayor's announcement when it happens later today. A former priest at a Hellenic Orthodox church in Buffalo now faces several charges and federal charges, accusing him of stealing nearly $500,000 from the church. Last year, Christos Christakis admitted to the church that he used hundreds of thousands of dollars in parish funds for his own personal benefit. The church decided not to press charges against him, but now federal prosecutors have charged him with bank fraud. If convicted, Christakis faces 30 years behind bars and a $1 million fine. And we are learning that the Vatican is reversing the decision by the Buffalo Catholic Diocese to close St. Jude the Apostle Parish in North Tonawanda. That's according to the Roman Catholic community of the Tonawandas. The parish held its final Mass more than a year ago. Father Michael Lamarca with the RCCT says that there is nothing scheduled to take place at St. Jude the Apostle yet. The bishop will review the decision and will decide whether or not to appeal. The fashion outlets in Niagara Falls is asking county leaders for help as it struggles financially. The mall's parent company is asking the Niagara County Industrial Development Agency for more than $17 million in tax exemptions, citing changing shopping habits, declining foot traffic, and rising operating costs. More than a third of the mall's existing leases are scheduled to expire this year. The IDA board is expected to discuss the request during today's meeting. And a heads up if you live in West Seneca, NYSEG has scheduled a brief 3-minute power outage beginning at 10 o'clock this morning in order to complete work at the Langner substation following maintenance. The outage will impact a large portion of West Seneca, including several neighborhoods and streets off of Main, Seneca, and Center roads. The utility says the interruption, again, should only be about 3 minutes long. And a downtown Buffalo coffee shop that recently announced its closure is now inviting customers back one final time. Third Space Cafe on Main Street will host a closing sales. That means furniture and artwork, games, and restaurant equipment will all be available for purchase. It's happening this Saturday from 9 a.m. until 1 p.m. Sad to see them closing. Okay, Patrick. Buying one of those big like espresso machines or coffee makers from that coffee shop. I always want one of those, but I feel like I'm just, first of all, in way too much of a rush to like make a fancy coffee. And B, I'd probably get like the froth all over the place. Or I don't know. It just probably is. I should just stick with the Keurig. Yeah, well, even that can, the froth, the application of the froth is kind of an artwork to get it. Some make designs in it. Some of these baristas, I mean, they really are artists. They are. It's a froth artist. Have you seen in bars, though, that there are like Guinness machines that you can put your beer down and they actually make designs with the froth or foam on a Guinness? I did not know that. Yes, so you can have like your bar's name or somebody's face and they put it in there and it goes on to your Guinness. You can put a face on your beer? Wow. Usually the faces get blurry. And these are very clear until you've had maybe 2 or 3 Guinnesses. That is very cool. I did not know that. That is something. Yeah, Barbell North up in Amherst has one of those machines. And I'm sure there are many others that have those machines. Very, very cool. Very cool. All right, we've got some lingering clouds out there after getting some rain overnight. And this morning, we're going to go with the showers ending, partly sunny skies this afternoon, temperatures upper 50s to low 60s. Tomorrow, lots of clouds. It'll be cool near 50, and there will be a few scattered light showers around. And looking into the weekend, temperatures are in the mid 70s with, again, temperatures that are on the rise. So our good friend Kevin O'Neill just came in to me and he reminded me, he's like, can you imagine a party in the plaza if there's a game 7? It's going to be crazy. Yeah, in the 80s. Yes, Monday. Party in the plaza. Well, we hope that there isn't a game 7 though, and we wrap it up at 6. But if there is, when's the last time we had hockey in warm weather at the same time? The finals in June. The finals in June. What was that? 99.
Anyway, that is a thing. Next week is certainly looking, after a nice weekend, it is going to be much, much warmer. So yeah, Kevin brought that to the attention. Melissa did too. Holy cow. If there's a Game 7, it's going to be very warm that day. All right, we've got showers that have pushed east. It looks dry for much of the rest of the day, with the exception of a quick line of showers that will develop east of Buffalo and then scoot out of here very quickly. They actually may become strong, even severe, east of here as they grow and develop, but around here, it'll just be a quick little line of showers, and you'll see that on Future Look right here. See that? And then they push off pretty fast. So if you're traveling eastbound, you could see a few showers. I would say lunchtime to about 2 p.m., and then they will be long gone. For tonight, mostly cloudy, and during the day tomorrow, rather cloudy, kind of showery, and a far cry from 80. We're going to get there early next week, but tomorrow, more like 50 for a daytime high. That's it. But it does begin to warm up this weekend and next week. There are some of those showers. It looks like, what is that, near South Wales, Concord, and then pushing off towards the east, eventually into Perry, Letchworth, Mount Morris, and the like, then out towards Dansville. All right, around here, we're going to see, again, dry weather for the most part. The rain showers have pretty much wrapped up. And then for highs today, low 60s. Tomorrow, closer to 50 under mostly cloudy skies. Again, partly sunny this afternoon, 62, which is just a tad below average. Will certainly be below average tomorrow. Low 60s on Friday. There are the 70s for the weekend. And here, Monday, if a Game 7 were to happen, we would see temperatures in the 80s. So, by the way, there's a game on Thursday and then Saturday, which I heard is an 8 p.m. puck drop, a little later. And then if there's a Game 7, it would be Monday with temperatures, in the 80s. So there we go, Melissa. Warmer times coming. Yeah, but tomorrow for the party in the plaza, another one where fans are just going to have to bundle up for the outdoor watch party tomorrow night. Yeah, let's hope that the positive vibes from last night. I mean, that, by the way, watching the game, you saw that crowd again. It's like, man, playing in Montreal. It seems like it didn't affect the Sabres this time. Maybe it did, you know. Yeah, there was a lot that affected the Sabres last night. It was pretty shocking to a lot of people that they were able to pull it out. We'll talk about all of that coming right up in the next block here in Daybreak. We will have all things Sabres and Bills, too. Stay with us. Welcome back, everybody. 9:14, 57 degrees here on Daybreak, and the Sabres are heading back to Buffalo with a lot of momentum after Zach Benson's birthday game winner helped to even the series at 2 games apiece. Now it just kind of feels like a best-of-3 series. I stayed up last night. It was a long game, too. It was. There were just so many decisions and, you know, it timeouts and... Yeah. Deciding whether there was a goal and then the reversal of the goal. That took 10 minutes. Right. 10 minutes. They stopped play for that. So many penalties. So it just was very, very long. And I woke up 3 hours later to get ready for a Daybreak, really thinking, did that just happen? Did they really just win this game? Because it just didn't feel like the Sabres had control of anything last night. And there were so many calls against the Sabres. And, but they managed to pull it out, and they really needed to because, it was not a must-win, but it really kind of felt like a must-win. And Channel 2 Sports Director John Scott joins us now with the biggest highlights and key moments and takeaways from that huge Game 4 win last night.
So much can change with just one game in a postseason series. The Sabres feeling that in the wrong way in games 2 and 3, but the pendulum swinging back their direction with a gritty Game 4 win here in Montreal. The buttons Lindy Ruff pushing, the changes in the lineup working, the special teams sensational and critical, all amounting to this thing even now 2 games apiece as the series shifting to Buffalo.
There was a lot of elements that went the other way. You know, the review where we get the goal, the review where they take it away, which I totally disagree with. Just for the fact that Dobesh always is swinging his stick. He initiated the contact with Hellenis with his stick coming across the crease, and I thought Hellenis did a great job of trying to avoid the goaltender. Their guy ends up hitting the goaltender, so I really thought that that was going our way.
Game 3, didn't really control our emotions. We directed it other places, things that were out of our control. Kind of just took our mindset away from the task at hand. And I thought tonight we were mentally locked in all game.
Our belief never wavered. Within our room, I know you guys like to talk about that stuff, but within our room, we believed. I mean, you're playing hockey out there, so we went out there, played our game, and we got the win, and it was a big win for our group.
Game 5 of this now basically 3-game series between the Sabres and Canadiens is Thursday night back at KeyBank Center. From the Bell Center here in Montreal, John Scott, Channel 2 Sports.
Scrolling on social media this morning, I'm just seeing so many fans just upset with the commentary last night. The ESPN commentators who just seem to be so pro-Canadian.
Right.
The one that got me was when he suggested that Rasmus Dahlin actually was trying to make himself bleed and reopen an old wound so that the penalty would go from 2 minutes to 4 minutes because there's blood. Like, come on.
And I the one I heard was the Sabres had a power play, and the announcer almost sounded disappointed. Another power play for the Sabres. It's like,
well,
why?
yeah, for most of the game, they were also on penalty kill or they were, shorthanded.
They seemed shorthanded for like a whole period.
So many penalties. Some deserved, some not. But it just was unbelievable how many penalties.
And to think that we came out of there with so many minutes on the power kill, and we came out, the Sabres came out victorious is amazing.
Yeah, on the penalty kill with like
so
being
many penalties. Like you said, either way, deserve it or not, but there were a lot.
Speaking of penalties, did you hear about? Do you remember that Zach Benson? The late hit to him during the Boston Bruins series with Charlie McAvoy. And then he had to meet with the league officials.
McAvoy had to leave, right?
Yeah, so he met with the league officials on Monday about that cross-check, that really late hit. 6-game suspension. And he has to serve that at the beginning of this next season.
Wow.
So, yeah, that was a massive hit.
And what it elicited a smile from Benson, if you remember. He looked at him and went,
is like the new fan favorite for so many people. So scrappy and with the nickname Rat, and he's just fun to watch.
I know, I wonder
he gets under everybody's skin.
Right.
And he loves it. And
you're a 20-year, now 21, but 20-year-old kind of picking fights with verbal fights or with much older seasoned players. It's like, dang, he's got some.
Just turned 21 yesterday.
I know.
Baby.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
And he's got, when you listen to him in interviews, he's like, I wasn't talking like that when I was 20. I mean, he's very poised and speaks very well. And
speaking of hear them speak, let's go inside the locker room from last night. Take a look.
Great start to the game. Great job. The desperation killing penalties the last 10 minutes. Awesome. Okay, I got this one here. There you go.
Hell of a win.
I'll chug it.
Boys.
Men of few words, right? I don't know. They didn't have a lot to say, but they were all smiles, as were all the fans last night. Lots of smiles. The team's heading back home, of course, to KeyBank Center. Game 5 tomorrow night, 7 p.m. Party in the Plaza begins at 4. Canal Side Watch Party is at 5. And then, of course, Game 6, which will be away at Montreal. There will definitely be a Game 6. There will be, for the first time ever, Game 6 watch party inside KeyBank Center. $5 tickets, but we really don't have much more information than that. There's a link that we have on our website that the Sabres posted that will allow you to get the information when those tickets go on sale. But we don't know anything more. They're $5, and the donation that you're making by spending that $5 will go to the Sabres Alumni Foundation. We don't know whether season ticket holders are going to get priority, who gets to get it, what's the process of getting those tickets.
But away games are kind of good. The Sabres have, I just thought about this, in the playoffs, they've won at home twice. That's it.
Game one
of the
Boston.
first, and then they lost. Then the rest of the wins were in Boston.
Yes.
And then for this, we won game. Sabres won game 1, and then they have not won it, and they come back obviously to play at home.
Yeah.
But is their home ice advantage? I don't know. They've just been playing better on the road.
That's very interesting.
Yeah, I hope they turn that around.
Yeah. Well, it would be fun for all of 19,000 Sabres fans to be inside the arena watching on the Jumbotron and see them hopefully win in Montreal. And that would be Saturday night. And then again, as you said, Monday would be Game 7 if there's a need for one. And boy, will the weather be beautiful. And summer-like weather for hockey. Yeah, Sabres fans haven't experienced that in ages. So what an experience that would be. Hopefully we won't need a Game 7 though, and we'll wrap things up in Game 5 and 6.
Wouldn't that be a story? I mean, it's so true. We heard people say when you're in the playoffs, one loss, you think the world's ending. One win, you think you're going to win the cup.
Right.
The emotions just, I mean, I felt so bleak after the Game 3.
Right. And now all of a
it's like,
sudden
let's go.
we're tied back up and it's a whole new series.
Whole new, yeah.
All right, stay with us. We'll have a little bit more coming up right after the break. Welcome back, 9:24, and some of the finishing touches are being put on the new Bills Stadium. The Bills logo is now installed right underneath the Highmark sign, and construction there should be wrapping up in the next few weeks. Still waiting for the big, huge buffalo to be out front in the plaza, but it's okay.
It's so funny.
I don't know. I just was expecting something more grand, a $2 billion stadium, and it's like, okay, here's our logo.
There are some people watching right now who will get this reference. I know we reference this scene in this movie all the time, but there's a famous scene in the movie Spinal Tap where they're expecting this massive background, the Stonehenge song, and they're expecting a massive Stonehenge to be dropped behind the stage. Instead, they drew the dimensions, but they put inches instead of feet.
Oh.
So it's this little thing. So imagine a rock band playing, and this little thing comes down.
Yeah.
And that you're right. You kind of have this imagination or image of this emblem being huge.
And maybe it doesn't translate well on TV. We're just looking at it in a small screen right here. So perhaps if we drive by, it'll look more enticing and magnificent. But it's just like, here's the logo. We'll slap it right up there.
Yeah,
temporarily.
The Highmark part, when you drive by, it's there. It's a big. So I have not seen the new emblem yet.
I just can't wait to see the inside. I have no idea when I'm going to see the inside of the stadium, but hopefully for the blue and red scrimmage, because I'm one of those people who is really kicking myself for not getting a PSL. I really wish I would have. I've grown up a Bills fan all my life, and I just didn't do it, and I should have.
Melissa, it was very expensive.
I know, but you have it for your entire life.
I know.
And you pass it along to your children. 30 years. So for some, that's your entire life. For me, hopefully not.
I mean, yes, I thought about it too, but I mean, okay, do I want to send my kids to college or do I want to get a season tickets? I mean.
Right, because it's not just the PSL, it's the season tickets that you're also spending. Right. But a lot of people will be able to make that money back by selling them on the secondary market.
That's a good point.
And that's why the tickets are so expensive.
$2 to $3 grand for the first game.
Right, and being at the first game at the new Highmark Stadium really is.
Who can possibly sell those tickets?
People who bought extras in order to sell them. I know of people who bought extra PSLs and season tickets just to sell them, knowing they'd be making money. You could jump on in and talk into our mics.
PSL owner here.
Oh.
I'm selling the home opener.
You are?
Yeah. I'm selling the home opener.
To make money?
Yeah.
How much do you think you're going to get?
I don't know. I'll get like $700 per ticket, so it's $1,400 right there. The PSL is expensive. My daughter might need college.
Yeah.
That's what I just said.
So we're gonna go to the preseason games and enjoy the stadium.
But you're such a big Bills fan. Aren't you going to miss not?
Would you rather have $1,400 or watch a Bills game?
So but then why did you?
That's a really good question, though, Kevin. I mean, to miss the opener of the new Highmark Stadium, to say that you were there.
But for a price tag, come on. So I'll go to the preseason.
Okay.
And I'll go to the next one.
I think it's a hot topic right now because we're talking about we don't want people to sell their tickets at Sabres games because we don't want any of the fans to come in. But this is maybe a different way to think about it, because you don't want to sell it if we're playing. Who are we playing?
The Lions.
The Lions. You don't want to sell it to Lions fans.
People can sell the tickets to whoever they want.
Yeah. All right.
Okay.
Okay.
Wow, this is going to be a topic that we're going to be talking about for a long, long time, I think. Especially, the season schedule is dropping Thursday night, tomorrow night at 8 o'clock. So Friday on Daybreak, we'll break down the schedule. What does it look like? Where are they opening the season on the road? We'll get little hints of what the schedule looks like up until Thursday night. And then also, I love all the videos that all of the teams come up with to drop their schedule. They're all so creative, some better than others. The really funny one that we loved, I think it was Carolina, that had went out on the street and said, what is this? It was a Titans, thank you, the Tennessee Titans, and they said, what is this team logo?
They showed the Chargers and somebody goes, the Lightnings, right? Or the fleur-de-lis on Saints, somebody thought it was like, oh, that's the flowers.
Right.
I was like, no.
You have to look it up on YouTube. The Tennessee Titans schedule release drop, I think it was from 2 or 3 years ago. So funny.
What are you hearing rumor-wise for game 1?
I'm hearing that it's going to be a game that is far away. So that would be the Rams, that would be the Houston, or that would be the Vegas.
Or Miami. I'm hearing that quite a bit.
Oh, are you? Mm-hmm. Okay, opening up with a division game.
That's what my son said. No, I'm kidding. I've heard that. It makes sense.
Okay.
And it is a little farther away.
Yeah.
We
shall see.
It just kind of makes sense.
Yep, lots of rumors. We don't report on rumors, but we report on what Patrick's son says. Bye, everybody.